Happy Labor Day and welcome to the Radio Real Estate Show. What are you looking so surprised about, Billy?
I forgot this was Labor Day.
It's Labor Day. We're not supposed to be working.
A September long weekend.
Fern's here. My goodness, why are we working on Labor Day?
Well, I know, but people are getting their kids ready to school. This is the last long weekend before school.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And realtors never take a day off. You're not allowed to. You know that, don't you?
I know. It's written in the rules.
Okay. Now, you remember on the show a few weeks ago, we broke the story about this new Metro Vancouver housing tax for foreign ownership.
We did.
We say we're going to charge the people that don't live here 15%.
Absolutely.
If they're not Canadian citizens.
Okay. And,
yes.
I see.
Yeah.
So I thought in the long run that this is not going to affect me because I'm not having a house built, but such is not the case. Bob DeWitt, who is the president of the Greater Vancouver Home Builders Association, is on the line. Happy Labor Day, Bob. Bob, happy Labor Day.
Hey, Tom, same to you. How you doing?
I'm good. Are you on vacation?
No.
Oh. If you had said yes, I wouldn't have blamed you. On the show earlier, we were talking about the fact that there's a new tax out, as you all know about, and I figured, because I'm not buying or selling a home, I'm not having a home built, that it's not going to affect me, but such is not the case, right?
That's right. No, this tax that we were surprised by a month ago, it has had a real surprisingly large impact in the short term. I mean, what we've heard from our members is because of the tax is cancellation of some renovation contracts, and also a mad scramble by some of the foreign buyers who had pre-sale agreements, trying to get them assigned or potentially even get out of them.
Yeah, that's interesting, and you're right. Hi, Bob. It's Fern. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Fern?
I can't complain at all. Thank you. Yes, we've noticed a change in the market, too. So it's interesting to hear you confirm with the facts on new homes on your end. So tell us more.
Yeah, well, I mean, from an industry point of view, the tax itself, I don't think was there needs to be supply side and demand side measures to deal with a hot real estate market if you're from the government's point of view. But the retroactive nature of it is what we have a real issue with, which is causing a lot of instability and uncertainty in our industry. But also the effect is a signal this sends to foreign investors for the larger economy and whether they can rely on the business environment here that's not to change before they put their money in longer term. So I think it creates a larger economic instability that's not good for the province, and of course it's not good for the poor buyers who bought their pre-sale agreement with good faith and then having the terms change on the tax side of things.
Well, that's true. I was talking to Fern about that. I said, what if somebody bought a pre-sale house for, let's say, $500,000? And then the bottom falls out, and whatever. And then it drops down to $300,000. So they still owe $500,000, but their house is only worth $300,000. Am I right in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went through this after the AHOP program back in the 70s, which was a government program. And then, of course, with economic changes in 1980, we saw that kind of thing happen, too, that people just could not get out of their mortgages. So we had foreclosures all over the place.
Yeah, and speaking of the 80s, I mean, when this property transfer tax was brought in I think it was 87,
91,
it wasn't retroactive. So, I mean, there's a good case to be made that the government should stick with, because that was a shock to the system, too. This is a much more so. I mean, obviously, 2% compared to 15%, it's kind of a shocking change. So I think the government needed to make it effective if they're going to do this, make it effective going forward, not to make it effective on retroactive existing contracts.
Exactly, the grandfather clause thing. I find it real interesting that today Trudeau is in Shanghai coaching a basketball game and also promoting come to Canada, invest your money here. Well, you come and invest your money in commercial or industrial here in the Lower Mainland. Let me change that. The GVRD area, which is what the 15% applies to, but yet you can't live here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, they're on this foreign mission, and I think our own provincial government is on the foreign mission as well. And where people end up coming now, if they get deferred or directed away from Vancouver towards Victoria, Kelowna, or even Toronto, it'll be interesting to see 6 months down the road of what the effects are of where people end up, the path into Canada and how they do it.
It's interesting. I was watching the news, the 6 a.m. news this morning, and they were talking about what's going on in Victoria, and sales, not prices, but sales are up 26%. What does that tell you?
Yeah, exactly.
Demand and supply, it's and Victoria is just the tip of an island. So you can imagine what's going to happen to real estate there over the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, and I don't know if you followed this, but the mayor of Victoria wants the tax to come to Victoria, applied to Victoria as well. I'm not sure why, but that's what they're calling for in that city.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you have an inflationary market as we've had over the last 5 years, that who really benefits out of that long term? Short term, sure. We have a lot of extra equity in our homes that we can do stuff with, but long term, you still have to live somewhere. And long term, when different foreign investments are coming in, they are buying for their future generations. They buy differently than what we do. We look at our lifestyle, where we are with our kids, but you get offshore money, and a lot of times what they're doing, number one, is trying to get money out of their country, I find, and number two, they're looking for investments for their grandchildren, not for their generation.
Exactly.
Bob, this 15% tax was supposed to make houses more affordable. Do you think that's going to happen, and do you think we're going to lose more jobs over this situation?
No, it's not going to happen, because the categories or the segments that we think of as affordable market housing, the first-time home buyer segment is dominated by domestic buyers. So the role or the role of the foreign buyer is not so significant in that segment. So it's not going to make any difference when it comes to affordable market housing. And as far as job losses go, we do expect job losses. It's obviously a guess what they'll be. I feel it'll be somewhere in the 2,000 to 5,000 jobs range within the next 3 to 9 months, as we see the effect on renovations. And also, this will, I think, impact some of the housing start activity later down the road. I mean, it's obviously not going to affect the projects that are going into the ground right now, but I could see it having an effect further down. And this is an important industry. I mean, there's 55,000 jobs in Metro Vancouver, 140,000 jobs provincially, and I think it's quite a risky policy that they've tried on here, because I think 5,000 jobs, that represents $250 million in salaries, and those are real people's livelihoods that are being put at stake. And so I think they, for the sake of $500 million of property transfer tax revenue, which may indicate why they did in the first place, but for the sake of that, they're putting these people's livelihoods at risk.
Bob, I just had a text come in from your wife, Mrs. DeWitt. It says she wants you to do some work around the house. Bob, I don't understand this.
I don't either. Tell her it's raining.
Bob, thank you for talking to us this morning. Have a happy Labor Day.
You too. Take care, Tom.
And we'll talk real soon. Thank you. That's Bob DeWitt. He is the president of the Greater Vancouver Home Builders Association. We're talking about the 15% tax for foreign ownership, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it could be interesting. It's the Radio Real Estate Show. Bill Macklem, the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, and our Radio Real Estate Mortgage expert is on the show as usual this morning. You'll have the mortgage rate update in just a few minutes.
Definitely will. Right. Later in the show, I'm going to talk about bank lending. We're going to kind of focus on one bank this time. We might do another one next time.
Anybody we know?
Yeah,
maybe.
That might be a surprise. Our Radio Real Estate Home Handyman, Finn Jensen, says September is here, and with it comes the sound of school bells.
Tuesday morning, we're back to class, and also going to chat with Norm Holmes. Norm is the vice president at Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation. We're going to talk about secondary lending and MIC funds today on the program.
Monica Denabraga, president of Mummy Maids, joins us with her eco-friendly Radio Real Estate cleaning tip of the week. Today, she has a way for us to clean the bugs off our car's windshield naturally.
Well, naturally. It's the Radio Real Estate News headlines coming up. I'm going to be reading the headlines from the stories that made the news this past week. Fern and Bill will give us their expert opinions, and we'll continue our financial series with Norm Holmes. He is, again, the vice president of Pioneer West Acceptance. And this morning, Norm will talk to us about the turtle and the hare investment strategies.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. And Bill's mortgage question of the week is coming up on our next segment. If you have a question for Bill, please leave it on our website, RadioRealEstateShow.ca, RadioRealEstateShow.ca.
What was that address again? I could hardly hear you. What? Radio Real Estate Show?
RadioRealEstateShow.ca.
RadioRealEstateShow.ca. Okay, we're going to talk about things we need to do to get our homes ready for sale this morning. A brand new feature in the program. We're going to be talking with Janice, and we're going to talk to her sister Cynthia. And again, I say we're going to talk about, maybe a little bit of staging, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You're a realtor. You know what it's all about, right?
You're listening to Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
CL 650. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
Well, aren't you glad this Labor Day weekend that nobody's gone out on strike? Dare I say the word strike?
They settled.
Job action.
Well, that had been threatened for how long? Us month or so, and I didn't even know it was settled. All settled in an hour or so.
Aren't you lucky that you got Bill's question in already?
Absolutely.
So somebody has a question for Bill. What is it this morning or this afternoon?
This week's question comes to us from Bev Wheaton of Qualicum Beach. Bev would like to know how often she should have her credit rating or score updated.
Thanks, Fern. Well, that's a good question from Bev. Credit ratings or credit scores is a system whereby all credit vendors, which would mean your Visa, your Fido, whoever you might have, report to the credit reporting agencies. There's two of them here in Canada, Equifax and or TransUnion. They will report how you handled their credit the last 30 days. So these people are phoning into the credit reporting agencies to tell them how you handled your credit. So these agents are talking to the credit bureaus regularly, determine your credit score. You, the client, really have no impact, and you can't do anything to increase or decrease your score by asking for an update. You can adversely affect your credit score by going to different vendors, whether it's a car dealership, a Visa card, a bank, and getting them to pull your credit score. If you do this more than 2 or 3 times, that will adversely affect your score downwards, which means you become less and less attractive to someone that wants to lend you money. You can check your own credit score by going online or phoning directly to one of the credit reporting agencies and pull up your own credit score so you know where you're standing. But you can't, as Bev was saying, like to know how often she should have her credit rating updated. The credit rating update is happening automatically every 30 days.
So check it out, but don't do it too often, right?
Exactly.
Bill, so I have a quick question, if you don't mind. That sometimes when you pull up a credit score that's a little on the shaky side. Now, is there a way that you can go into the bank or whatever and say, pull up my credit score, and how do I pull up my socks?
We do that on a regular basis, whereby we have people coming in that might have a credit score that's a little bit less than, it might be bruised, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so we show them
Good
how to get their credit score back up to snuff. So that's why when you send your clients to us on a pre-approval basis, we're doing all that stuff. And then we find there's a problem, we let you know when we're going to be 6 months away or 12 months away from actually being ready to make an offer.
Awesome. For expert mortgage information online, visit billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, mac.com, or call Bill directly at 604-684-HOME, 604-684-4663.
It's Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy, CL 650. Willie Mack, you have some rates for us on the show today.
I definitely do.
You do?
The rates are just as ecstatic as they were last week.
Really good, huh?
Ecstatic's good.
I like that.
Had a client call me. I'll just do a little quick one because I know we have a short time here. He called me, sold his cabin out in Hope. Said, I have $100,000. I'm thinking I will pay down my mortgage. What do you think? I said to him, well, that's a really great, aggressive way of doing it, and you probably should look at that. But let me ask you a tongue-in-cheek question. So you're asking me whether you should pay down your mortgage you're paying 2.5% interest rate on, or you should add it to your investments you already have that's paying you 8.2%. Which would you think would be the better place to put your money? And he said, I thought that's what you're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sound advice.
put the money in the investment.
Yes, absolutely.
Best variables right now are down 2.2. Best 5-year rates are down to 2.39. If you're CMHC, if you have special needs, you're going to be closing within the next 30 days. So that's a loss leader, but you're probably looking about 2.44 to 2.49 to be on a regular basis.
Good time to go out and borrow some money if you need it.
Oh, borrow as much as you can.
All right. Thank you, Billy. Coming up, we're going to chat about the real estate stories that made the headlines this past weekend. We will continue our financial series with Norm Holmes, the Vice President of Pioneer West Acceptance. Norm will talk to us today about the turtle and the hare investment strategies.
This is for Northcott at Remax Performance Realty with our mortgage expert, Bill Macklem, President of Dominion Macklem Mortgage. Producer Heather Smith and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate on Vancouver's original on-air open house on CL 650.
CL 650.
A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be.
You got the idea? A working class hero
Yes.
is something to be. Well, it's Labor Day. I thought we'd play a little working kind of music.
I think it was pretty cool.
Not bad. Working for the man. That's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're working at making some money. I'm working at making some money. A guy knows how to make some money. His name is Norm Holmes. He is the Vice President of Pioneer West Acceptance. We've got him on the line this afternoon. He's going to tell us how to make some money. Norman?
Happy Labor Day to your audience. I'd like to explain the difference between what I call turtle versus rabbit investment strategies. Have you ever had a friend tell you how they made a great return on a stock investment? They brag about it and make you feel like your investments are inferior to theirs. Most of the time, people who brag about their best investments, they don't tell you about their investment losses. Like asking a golfer how their game was, they'll tell you at length about their birdie, but they'll leave out that triple bogey on the back nine. In the mid-1990s, I took some financial planning courses, and the instructor, who was himself a long-time successful investor and financial planner, told us it was nearly impossible to get a long-term rate of return historically. Remember the story of the turtle and the rabbit? The rabbit was faster, but rested on the race, whereas the steady, slow progress of the turtle won the race. This is the same with investments. A good, steady return of 6% year after year, when compounded, becomes a large investment fund over time. This is Norm Holmes, Radio Real Estate.
For more information, call Norm at 604-987-1420. That's 604-987-1420. Or visit pioneerwest.com. That's pioneerwest.com.
It's time now for the Radio Real Estate Headline News. Are you boys and girls ready?
Anytime.
Anytime.
Lay it
Are you
on
ready,
us.
Bill? Are you ready? Okay, we're Bill. We're ready. Here we go. One local economist blames the media. I can't believe this. I'm reading this. He blames the media, not foreign money, for the high cost of housing.
Well, I tell you, there's probably a little bit of truth to that because we seem to like, what do they say in the media? If it bleeds, people read.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we might as well talk about this huge drop in prices because it's going to be massive, which it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But if I say it's not going to be bad, then why would anybody read it?
That's right.
I
So
see.
therefore, I have to make it more spectacular.
We just like bad news, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see.
It travels faster, doesn't it?
What about the $5,000 job loss? Is that bad news?
That's bad news.
That's
very
news.
bad
That's
We
not
don't
good.
want anybody to lose their job.
No.
That wasn't media driven. That was the direct
That's
result.
true, too. That's true, too.
Yes.
All right, so buying on a budget is still possible these days, even in a hot market. It's a cozy home on a quiet complex. It's boasting 2 bedrooms. It has an open floor plan, stainless steel appliances, a shared outdoor pool. I don't know what the hell that would be. And it's located just a few inches, I guess, away from the beach. Oh, by the way, it's the least expensive home listed in the Semiahmoo Peninsula, only $59,000. It's cheaper than a condo or a townhouse, huh?
You know, it's interesting. Is it somebody's mobile home parked by the side of the road?
Well, it could be.
I think it's that lady that's got the trailer.
Yeah, probably.
No, they're called Airbnbs now.
That's right, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to discuss that, too. And it seems
Yeah.
that some local residents are irked by Airbnbs. They say about 200 complaints have been filed in the past 6 months or so. A lot of those homeowners and renters are very, very concerned.
You know, it's interesting with Airbnb that they have taken off big time all over the world. All over the world. Friends of mine have 2 casitas in Mexico, and this last winter they proved it by doing their Airbnb. But what I'm seeing is basically there's no stipulations. So you could say, oh, I got 1 extra bedroom in my house. I think I'll advertise it on Airbnb. And then you got people coming and going. So, you know, you got strangers coming into your house. And if you live in, let's say, a condo complex or a townhouse complex, well, especially a condo complex, if you are renting your one of your rooms out by the night, you know, like for a weekend or whatever, first of all, you don't know who you're bringing into your home. And second of all, it's your neighbors that are concerned, you know, about bringing people into their home. They bought into a complex because of a lifestyle, and now all of a sudden they've got transient people coming in, and I would like to know what the compliance rules are.
Well, look at that one with Mandrake the Magician.
Mm-hmm.
They had 16 people in there, and it caught on fire, and it's now burnt, and the whole house is gone.
That was a magic trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was out on Grosvenor, Kindersley area, wasn't it?
Well,
yeah.
and the thing is, too, which is really interesting, is that we talk about all this. So all these things we're talking about are a result of something.
Exactly.
Now, these are all resulting problems,
Mhm.
but we're not addressing the actual problem.
Yeah, it's always
problem is we
Band-Aid
don't
rather
have-
than preventative.
We don't have any supply of homes. Let's get our butts in gear. Let's get those houses that are taking 6 months to 12 months on building permits. Let's get them done now. Let's get these people on the road, get them built. I mean, Bob's talking about loss of jobs. If you didn't take so long to get these building permits, you would actually be able to keep these jobs going. We need these homes.
Are you running for PM soon? I'd vote for you. I'd vote for you guys.
No, he has to go to China.
Oh, that's right, too.
That's
And
part
play
of the
basketball.
qualification.
And play basketball.
I like Szechuan.
Okay. Okay. The cost of buying a home in Greater Vancouver grabs headlines. It's equally a dog-eat-dog out there for renters, too. Renters are starting to feel the brunt of this thing, too.
Well, they certainly are, because in the last 5 years, what has happened is people have built up their equity so much in their homes, whether it's their own home that they live in or whether it is the investment that they've had. And a lot of people, if they were baby boomers, let's say they were 50 years old and they bought an investment home 10 years ago. Now they're 60 years old and they're thinking, it's time to free up some of my money here. The real estate market was to my advantage and all that kind of stuff. So they're selling their investment homes, creating a shortage of rentals. And so therefore, people that are renting, yes, it is a dog-eat-dog, because a lot of the rental places that you go and have a look, it's again, it's demand and supply. And you cut off the supply because people are selling their properties, then rental prices, are not soft anymore, and people are having a tough time to find places to live.
This is a political problem.
Yes.
We have politicians who say we want to provide cheap housing, and then they take 6 to 12 to 18 months to have building permits done so that people can build their houses. So how can you say two things at the same time?
Okay, now you know that foreign demand for real estate has been shifting a little bit from Vancouver to Toronto, Victoria, Kelowna, elsewhere. Vancouver has shown a decline in affordable housing in the first 6 months of this year, right?
Well, it certainly has. And, you look at Vancouver and you say affordable housing, that's kind of an oxymoron in itself. But, I was looking at the statistics I heard on the news this morning that but the amount of sales in Victoria that are not, affected by this 15% tax, the amount of sales have gone up 26%.
Nice stuff. Well, we'll have Radio Real Estate headline news coming up again next week on the show for you. But in the meantime, Fern, we've got something else happening in the next segment of the program.
We certainly do. In our next segment, we'll be joined by Monica Dinabriga, president of Mommy Maids. Today, Monica will share one of her eco-friendly tips and tell us how to get the bugs off our car windshield without using harsh chemicals. I had her out yesterday, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I had her out to clean my motorhome. And oh my God, it's so clean, I might not sell it now.
She got all the bugs off it?
Well, yeah. All the bugs out of it.
And Norm Holmes is going to be back with us. He's going to be talking to us about secondary lending and some mortgage investment opportunities available at Pioneer West.
More real estate information is coming up, right up on Vancouver's original on-air open house.
It's Tom Lucas with a co-host Ferd Northcott of Remax Performance Realty, Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer is Heather Smith, and you are listening to Radio Real Estate on CIL 650. You know what? When you're the cleanup woman, Labor Day means nothing. You still have to work. Well, you know that for a fact. It just never ends. It's time now for the eco-friendly cleaning tip of the week from Monica Dinabriga. She is the founder and the president of Mommy Maids. Hello there.
Here's an idea for removing bugs from your windshield. There's no need to rush out to the car wash and get rid of those dead bugs after a long road trip. All you need is a dryer sheet. Simply wet it and go to work. The sheets work magically and all the bugs come off easier than they would with a water hose. Plus, it doesn't have to be a new dryer sheet. A used one works just as good. So there's no cost, and you will be bug-free in no time. This is Monica Dinabriga for Radio Real Estate.
Mommy Maids will clean your castle with no hassle. Call Monica today at 604-533-4959. That's 604-533-4959, or visit mommymaids.com. That's mommymaids.com.
I was just wondering, she has a great way of taking bugs off the windshield of your car. I'm just wondering if she has ways of taking them off your teeth at all.
Only if you ride a motorcycle without a shield.
Well, it's the Radio Real Estate Show. It's the long holiday weekend, and we have something else coming up in our next segment, right, folks?
That's right. We're going to have me, Bill Macklem, talking about one particular lender and some of their actual differences that they have against other people.
I'm looking forward to that. We're also going to find out what has to be done to get our homes in order to sell on the market. Now, I was just talking to Fern a second ago. You're saying demand is down, prices are going up?
Well, this is in Victoria because, the offshore money people are allowed to live there if they start a business there, and they're not affected by this tax. So it's all demand and supply.
All right. So we're going to find out what you need to be doing out there with your home if you want to put it on the market with Janice Christie and Cynthia Weberg. They're both of the Real Estate Corner. They're coming up in just a few minutes right here on Radio Real Estate.
They are. And this is for Northcott of Remax Performance Realty. with Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgage, producer Heather Smith, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house on Radio Real Estate on CIL 650.
CIL 650.
'Cause you're working for the man. Working for the man. Gotta make him ahead. When you're working for the man.
It's the Labor Day version of the Radio Real Estate Show, and you know what? You're working for the man. Man?
Which man?
Well, it doesn't matter which man. Any man will do.
Pierre?
Okay, could be. Well, no. It'd be son now.
Oh, that's right, too. Justin.
Yeah, but we're here in BC, and of course, BC doesn't stand for British Columbia anymore. It stands for Before Christie is one of them. What's another one?
Bring cash.
Uh-huh.
Be cautious.
Be cautious. There you go. 3 little things for British Columbia, what it means on this Labor Day weekend. If you are working this weekend, happy Labor Day to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and to you. Thank you for
you.
working with me, yeah.
You betcha.
Norm Holmes is going to be here with us. Norm is the vice president of Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation. We were going to talk about mix and about some of the fine things they have on, but he got called away.
Yes, you did.
He did.
He won't be here.
But he'll be here next week on the
Yes,
show.
he's going to be here next week.
He promised me he'd be here next week on the show.
Yeah, it was unforeseen. He
It
couldn't
must have been
help
really
it.
important for him not to be here.
Well,
Absolutely.
we have a radio real estate expression. Stuff happens.
That's right.
Isn't
well,
that the truth?
It's a little bit different than stuff happens, but there we go. Hey, we got somebody special coming on the program today.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family.
We are family. I'm going to adopt you, Bill, and Fern. I've already adopted you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're all adopted, by the way. This coming from I've never been an adopted father before, and Janice and Cynthia, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, so we're talking about preparing your house for sale. So the things that a couple of things that we've got 4 things that we're going to talk about. Mine is actually lighting and paint color. Most people actually, when you're going into a unit, into a house, the lighting is really poor. They put 40-watt light bulbs in there. We need to have 60-watt light bulbs in there, like beam me up, Scotty. That's what we want. We want the place as bright as we can get it. Paint colors are another thing. We put hot pink in somewhere, or fuchsia, or black, or purple. We need cream, beige, those sorts of colors. People have a hard time seeing past those colors, so I think, you put about maybe $5,000 into fixing up your place and hiring people to junk removal and containers and all those sorts of things. You'll get the biggest bang for your buck. So, yeah.
So, Cynthia, you're saying what's the best thing to do is maybe hire somebody who can do it well. Just don't try and do it yourself.
For sure, because you know what? We don't want to put the sweat equity in to do it. But a lot of people actually, they're going to do the sweat equity one way or another, Tom. They're going to put it in either in the beginning or they're going to put it in the end. And they end up putting it in the end when they move. And if they actually just decluttered and did everything that they wanted in the beginning, then they'd be way ahead of the game.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Now, Janice, what else can you add to that?
I think hiring a staging consultant is very important. 90% of the homes are viewed on the internet, so beautiful photos are very powerful marketing tools. Internet photos, marketing brochures sell a home for between 10 and 30% more dollars, and between 10 and 25% faster than an unstaged home. So decluttering, depersonalizing, deep cleaning, put the lights on, clean it up. And hire a professional for a consultant, a staging consultant. That is very powerful. That will get you the best return on your dollar.
Now, I think that most realtors probably work with 1, 2, maybe 3 different home stages. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, we have a couple that we
That's
can
true.
have in our little arsenal, but we actually stage as well. We'll do some staging. We'll do light staging. So if we've got bedding and pillows and stuff like that to do some of the work, but if it's a major overhaul, we need to hire someone to do that. So all we can do is make suggestions for them, what to do to their house, what to clean up, what not to clean up, and, move furniture around. If there's 10 couches, we only need 1. If there's 10 cars in the yard, we only need 1, maybe 2 max, and 2 is too many. Things like that, But, they actually go in an order. So number 1, decluttering. Number 2, cleaning, a good scrub. Number 3 is paint. Number 4 is lighting. A lot of people... they don't want to put the sweat. The thing that I find very odd is that they don't put the sweat equity into their house, and they can get a very big return on that, the sweat equity. However, they can touch their stock options and their mutual funds and all that paper. They can touch it all they want, but it won't increase in value the way you will if you put the sweat equity into your real estate. So that is my little kick at the can for that.
Create space.
Yeah, it's a good idea. So if somebody needs to downsize, I guess what Fern is saying here is create space for them, right? Or if you're
100%. You have to
Clean
be
is-
able to walk
clean
into a
is the most
room and
powerful
actually
thing.
see, that you're walking into areas that you can actually get in and walk around the furniture.
Yeah, you want to see the house, not the clutter.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
But you want to see the flooring too. You want this the lighting to be good. You want the things like that to just
Lighting.
look good. I know you're cutting. Yeah, pretty much. That's what we've got to talk about.
okay, and I'm just curious on an open house, and I know that a lot of realtors do have open houses, some do not. Is it feasible for someone to come on by at an open house, and is it against the law to be taking pictures in somebody's house?
No, they do it all the time.
They do?
bring their video
Yes.
cameras
Well,
and they
it
take
is.
video
You have to ask
cameras
the
and they
seller.
do
The
all
seller
that.
has to,
But they
be
can
agreeable to
always
that.
see the photos
Even
on the
when,
internet
we have
anyways.
agents go in and have pictures taken.
All
We
the
have to
photos
ask the
should be
seller,
done
is it
on the
okay to have
with
pictures
professional
taken, or even
marketing
put a
photos
sign
should
on
be done on the
property. Some
internet,
people don't want that.
and you'll see them.
So totally, you're right on the money with that one. That they definitely do have to be asked to take pictures, or they ask the agent that if we're allowed to, and sometimes we do that. But generally, I would say most people don't. However, if you get foreign buyers, if you get somebody that's from Asia and stuff like that, they'll come in and they'll take pictures if they're trying to show their spouse in China or Iran or wherever they are. And they will take pictures, and then they have a way of showing the sale of the property it can sell with this particular client if they're able to take pictures and show the person overseas what they're actually looking at.
I guess there's just so much technology around these days to actually use that technology for you.
They do.
100%.
Drones, they use drones for large
100%.
acreage
You're right on the
properties.
money
They
there.
use all different kinds of technology. And you can market your home in Prince Edward Island
guess
if
the
you
other
need
thing
to,
too,
just by
actually,
a
we
drone
were,
that's on an acreage property in PEI.
Yeah,
It will sell just
like
as
I
quick
said, I did
as
a rough estimate of
because
cost.
you can
so like
have a look at
locker
all
is
of the photos.
$250 to rent.
The internet
Decluttering
is very
about $25
powerful.
an hour. You actually want to get a really thing, and people actually are kind of embarrassed about this, but you can actually get a container and put the container actually on your yard, and they let it sit there for 5 days. And they're big. They're 13 feet by 8 feet by 8 feet. They're 13 feet by 8 feet by 4 feet, and they contain about 2,500 pounds of stuff, and it's $325 plus GST. For me, that's a bargain. Just put it outside your house and just start hauling all the stuff up. Some of them you can walk into, so you can take all your stuff in there. If you want to hire 505 junk or 1-800-GOT-JUNK, it's by the pound. It's about $26 a pound, and it runs probably about $600 for about 2,000 pounds of clutter as well. And then you've got cleaning a person. So cleaning is $25 an hour. You get a Molly maid. It's $50 for 2 maids. Power washing is about $400. Movers are $75 an hour. So really, for a minimal, you're looking at about $2,500, and that's hiring somebody else to do it.
So talk to your real estate agent, get the team in place, and get as much money as you can, right?
Right, 100%.
In the shortest period of
Isn't that what
time.
it's all about? We want people
That's
to
what
make
it's all
money.
about.
We're not in here,
Good
we need
marketing.
to work too, but I mean, we want our clients to make the biggest bang for their buck that they can get as well. And doing that will give them, lots of reward for that. They don't do it, they get less reward, and then people want to grind them on price because they can't see past the dirt, they can't see past the messy furniture, they can't see past a lot of things. They can't see, 50 pictures on the wall. They can't see past that.
Well, there you go. So next week we're going to stop in again at the Real Estate Corner. Janice and Cynthia will be there. And any idea what we should talk about next week?
I
We're
haven't
gonna
thought
talk
about that,
about
but we'll come up
insurance,
with
I
something.
believe.
For
All
sure.
right. Well, let's figure that one out. That sounds good. And now we're going to tell the folks how to get a hold of it. I want you guys to enjoy yourselves today, okay? Enjoy the holiday weekend.
You
Yes,
too.
I was
You too,
also
Tom.
gonna sell-
Thanks for
also,
having
too,
us.
there's actually
Janice
a really
Christie,
good art
Royal
exhibit
LePage,
at,
and at the Real Estate
Vancouver
Corner,
Art Gallery.
604-842-0259, or you can email us at the Real Estate Corner at
Pink period.
yahoo.com.
It's not as blue period,
Thank
but
you.
something good to show. And if you need to reach us, you can always call us at 604-687-0158 or at the Real Estate Corner at yahoo.com, and it's Cynthia or Janice.
Janice and
Thanks for having
Cynthia,
us.
have a happy Labor Day. Thank you very much. And we'll chat again
Thanks
next
for
week.
having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. See you next week.
Janice and Cynthia are happy to answer your real estate questions. Just send them an email, realestatecorner at yahoo.com.
That would be Real Estate Corner at?
Yahoo.com.
I think you're turning into a bit of a Yahoo.
Oh, my goodness. I think so, too. Sorry.
Money makes the world go around, it makes the world go round.
Oh, we still love you no matter what you turn into. You know that, don't you?
Even a pumpkin for Halloween?
Well, we'll talk about that in Christmas time.
Christmas time.
Oh, my goodness. Christmas is just down the road, too, isn't it? Where is this year going?
I know.
Labor Day today, Christmas just around the corner.
It's going way fast.
But we got to do Halloween first, and that's so much fun.
And then this year you have to do something nice for somebody's birthday, but we won't talk about that right now. Let's go where no intelligent person would go before in the entire world. We're going to take a little trip through Bill Macklem's mind. Bill, what's on your mind? I don't like the look in your face. What's on your mind?
Gary.
I'm going to talk about lenders. And so we know there's about 60 different lenders out there. They're either credit unions, they're virtual lenders like the INGs, the Tangerines, and then we also have our banks and trust companies. What you need to look at is the fact that every bank, every trust company, every credit union is no different than any restaurant. Each one of them has special products that they want to sell you, and they have other products that aren't quite as aggressive, and therefore you don't really want them. And so when you go through the myriad or the mirage of all these different lenders, you're going to try to find the ones that suit your needs the best. So one of the lenders that we deal with that we quite like has the ability to give you what they call a global approval. There's a couple of credit unions that do it, and there's a couple of banks that do it. And what it does is it says, okay, so if your house is worth $500,000, you can have a global limit at 80% of that of $400,000. You could have $100,000 of that for a mortgage. You could have $100,000 of that for a line of credit, which what you do, you have this ability to have all these different products. The important part is when you're looking at different financial institutions, you want to make sure you're getting not only the best rate, but some of the best products available to you. So you got to be very careful what you're doing. So being a mortgage broker, from my perspective, is a fabulous opportunity for me to give you a hand on looking at what the different lenders are offering and figuring out which one best suits your needs.
So when it comes down to getting a mortgage bill, I think it's not just the term that's the important thing, is it? Or the, I keep asking for the toaster, but I don't see one. Huh?
No, the term is not that critical, and neither is the rate. I mean, the rates are so low right now, whether you get a 2.39, a 2.44, or 2.49, the only difference is bragging rights. It doesn't have a terrific impact on your cash flow in terms of what you're buying. What does have a terrific impact on your cash flow is how much money you put down, what your monthly income is so that you can afford these things. And if you're either a seasonal worker, you could be a teacher that doesn't get paid during July and August, you need to find lenders that allow you to do what they do, match and miss a payment. So let's say that, Tom, you're a teacher, and so you've got a mortgage. You will actually make a couple extra payments during the year on your mortgage so that when July and August comes along, you can miss 2 payments.
So
flexibility.
That's
Yes,
not
right.
bad.
And you're not getting behind in your financial perspective. So a lender still likes you. Your credit bureau still looks good because mortgages are now reporting on the credit bureau. Never did before.
So everybody's happy. If I make 2 payments in advance, I can miss 2 payments.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't want to miss more than 2.
No, because you can't do that because you haven't matched the payment first.
And if I didn't want to miss a payment, I just wanted to put money in, I can do that too?
You can go, most lenders allow you to do 15 to 20% prepayment, either a lump sum, or you actually increase your payments by 15 to 20%. So different lenders have different products. So what you're looking at is you got to figure out what your lifestyle is and where you're going. What you got to figure out is that if you just have enough money to buy the house that you want, don't be worried about the fact that you're not doing what other people tell you that you should be doing, is to pay down your mortgage. Because just the sheer fact that you're making mortgage payments on a regular basis, you're not getting yourself in trouble financially because you're just living within your means, the value of your house over the next 5 years will be greater than the amount of the mortgage that you just paid off in the previous 5 years.
Exactly.
So the greatest growth is not what the mortgages you're paying down. The greatest growth is an increase in value.
All right, let's suppose there are some parents or grandparents listening to us this afternoon, and they've just come back from some open houses. The grandchildren or children in the car say, you know, I kind of like that place. I'm going to call Fern. I'm going to make an offer on Tuesday morning, but in the meantime, I should go and see Bill. So, Bill, they've never seen a mortgage broker such as yourself before. They come in to see you. They have a couple of your mom's cookies. They have a cup of coffee. And then what do we do?
We will actually do a full application.
Okay.
So when we talk about a full application, we're asking for all the stuff up front as much as possible. We need to get pay stubs. We may ask for a job letter, employment letter. We're certainly going to ask for your last year's income tax, your notice of assessment from Revenue Canada, and I need to have a 90-day history of a down payment. Now, like you said, though, they may be out with grandparents, and so they may be getting a gift from the grandparents, so therefore we have to show that gift. And so we have to show the full due diligence of that whole process. So we may have to ask you, the grandparent, to give us a proof that the money is actually in your account, get a copy of the check that you're going to give to the children for the down payment, and then show that bank account for the kids before and after. Before the payment went in, after the payment was deposited.
Okay, one quick question here. That money you're talking about that the grandparents give it to the children, and Granddad gives the $50,000.
Yep.
Do you need to know where that money's come from? How Granddad made that 50?
As long as it's in his bank account.
That's all that matters.
And there's no sudden parachute of funds.
And there's nobody knocking at the front door in a blue uniform.
Or someone that's got a lot of jingle on and sweats.
I got you. Okay, if we want to get a hold of Bill, what do we do for
For expert mortgage information online, visit billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, MAC.com. Or call Bill directly at 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663.
In our next segment, we'll hear from our Radio Real Estate Home Handyman, Finn Jensen. Finn says, along with the month of September comes
school bells. Ha ha! Tuesday, they got to go back to school. Was that the phone? Was that my teacher?
A lot of grateful parents.
Oh, and grandparents, let me tell you.
Knocking on the door.
No kidding. Hey, it's Tom Lucas. Hello there. Fern Northcott is with us. She's our co-host. She's with Remax Performance Realty. Bill Macklem is here, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer is Heather Smith. And you're listening to Radio Real Estate on CIL 650, smooth and easy.
CIL 650, working in a coal mine, going down, 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 working in a coal mine, whoop, about to slip down.
Working in the coal mine, going down, down, down. I remember the tune.
I can say it's one of your favorite songs.
Never remember it that way, though.
No.
Did you bring that in?
I might have.
You did, didn't you? You brought that up from the basement, didn't you?
Way in the
Labor
basement.
Day weekend.
By the way, yes, happy Labor Day to you.
Thank you.
And to you. It's our third week in the new house. Aren't you glad?
Yes.
We had a home inspection, too. I just found out about that. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, well, good choice.
You've got your room all sorted out?
I do.
Bill's down in the basement where Bill belongs. You got it all set up, Billy?
Man cave.
I have the 100-inch screen TV. It was
Really?
great.
Nice.
Saw the game on Wednesday night.
Uh-huh.
We snuck in and won it, and there was no time left on the clock.
Well, really, that's what your wife says, too, about you. She says, there's no time left on the clock, Bill. I don't know what that means. Radio Real Estate, thank you for joining us, and happy Labor Day. It's time now for the home handyman. Finn is here, and Finn says, well, it's a brand new month, and, well, there's something else out there.
Good afternoon, Tom, and good afternoon to everyone. School bells will be ringing again next week, bringing joy to families across the land. The adored ones will then become reacquainted with the masters of the last word. The arrival of September signals a shift to a higher gear as the population moves into a quicker lane. And not before long, productivity will return to pre-summer time. Not that summer is over, on the contrary, it's coming on for a while yet. And then into a lovely West Coast fall. Plenty of time to get around to all the items on the to-do list. In fact, late summer and fall rival spring as the busiest time of year. And it's not hard to see why. A population fresh from summer moving into a brisk fall is extremely energizing. And then as productivity soars, so does the motivation, fueling activity in a multitude of ways. For instance, the housing market is famously busy in the fall. Presumably, one reason is that families like to enjoy spring and summers in their home, so the fall is a natural time to make the move, with lots of good weather yet and plenty of time to get organized before the coming holidays and festivities. This is Finn Jensen for Radio Real Estate. Happy Labor Day.
For fast, reliable, and dependable service for all your plumbing and air conditioning needs, call Gentech Mechanical Installations, 778-378-2740. That's 778-378-2740.
It's the Radio Real Estate Show, Labor Day holiday weekend. And somebody just coming through the door there, the open house.
I know.
Nice.
I think there's one of the people looking for their children to go back to school.
You think so?
Because they're hiding in here in the desk.
You know what it is? Everybody loves our new digs.
I love it, too.
I do, too.
And you picked it up. How'd you find it?
Well, hey, what can I say?
The MLS?
MLS.ca.
So what it stands for? MLS? Multiple Listing Service. I remember that. MLS.
It does.
MLS.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Bill, you arranged a mortgage for the place because it was pretty spendy.
It's nice financing.
It's very nice. And they've got a little extra money we can do stuff with, too. We can buy some furniture.
And you were the one that had to qualify for this mortgage. So you're the one stuck with the payments,
Whoa,
Tom.
whoa. That's not what... Whoa. What? Really?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No.
You
I
didn't know
Remember that thing you signed?
Yeah.
Oh, gee whiz.
First it was called a contract
Uh-huh.
agreement.
Yes.
And then a mortgage agreement.
Uh-huh.
And remember that thing there? Now we can take the stuff out of your bank account
Uh-huh.
bi-weekly?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Not
Guess
once,
what?
but twice a month?
There you go.
There's a there's a lesson to be learned here, Tom. Whenever you're asked to sign a paper, perhaps I should read it first.
Probably a good
Well,
idea.
it's a good idea.
We did put a disclaimer that
Oh,
says
yeah,
we
you
gave you the option to talk to your professional legal advisor.
Which I do not have, so that's very good. That's very good. Now I know that.
We wouldn't trick you, Tom.
I know you got to find some time to yourself this weekend, but you are working. I know that, and you're always looking for listings because now's the time to sell the house, right?
Well, it certainly is, and this week I am listless.
No,
All of my listings are sold.
listless in British Columbia.
There you go.
There's a movie there.
I think so too.
So now it doesn't matter if it's a new house, an old house, an in-between house, whatever. Eh?
Well, especially through this kind of market and what's going on and all this volatility with the new tax and stuff like that, there are people that I'm sitting down with these days too, and I'm saying to them too, now's not the time to sell.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the thing is that, like Bill with his mortgages, they are custom-made mortgages. And right now, marketing your home or selling your home has to be custom. It has to be when you're ready, when the market is ready. But, right now, sometimes it's not the time for people to sell.
I was thinking about having you over for a cup of coffee on Sunday morning, but I'm not going to bother now.
Well, you already got a mortgage.
I was going to get a list of my other house. Listen, Furnace, somebody doesn't want to get a hold of you over the weekend. What's your telephone number?
I can be reached directly either by cell or text at 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066.
If somebody wants to email you?
I can be reached at fern@smart.com. That's FERNE at smart with 2 T's.com.
And to Grandpa Grumpy, who is sitting here behaving. Why are you behaving yourself so much? I've never seen you behave yourself so much.
Still getting over this pneumonia thing. I'm just it's such a pain in the butt.
I think you're looking forward to a big turkey dinner. You having a big turkey dinner at your place today?
Maybe steaks.
Steaks.
Ooh, I'm coming.
Are you going to Bill's house?
I am now.
Because in the Lucas household, we just go out to one of those fast food restaurants for Labor Day.
Do you want to come with us?
Could I?
I don't know. Ask Bill.
Could I?
Ask Kathy. Let's both ask Kathy.
Let's call your
Yeah.
wife and okay.
Bring
So
on 2 more steaks.
sounds good. So we can do this again next week, and I'll be back out not Monday on the show because we're all sleeping in Monday, right?
Wow.
No mortgages Monday. No. Well, I guess you could call a realtor Monday if you wanted to.
Yep.
If you wanted to.
Well, hey, 24/7 it seems.
Yeah, and I'll be back on the radio Tuesday as some of your people and your kids head back to school. Oh my God! Thank you for joining us today. Happy Labor Day, everybody! It's the Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy CL 650.